Let us look at the parts of a complex number. Now, generally, a complex number is written in the form a plus bi. Okay? Or here, the a is called the real part. Okay? And bi, all of bi is called the imaginary part. Alright? Now, here, the b itself, is a real number. Just that the bi is represents the imaginary parts of the complex number. So, a few examples here. Suppose you have 3 plus 4i. Say 5 minus 6i. 1 plus 7i. Then we also have 4. And we also have 3i. Let's look at this. Here, the real part is 3. And the imaginary part is 4i. You see that? Now, let's look at a little thing here. Suppose you have 4i plus 3. Are these equal? Yes, they are. Because here, the real part is 3. Here, the real part is 3. Just that you write it to the right. Even though it's generally written as real part plus imaginary part from left to right. 4i, 4i. So these are indeed equal. Okay? Now, here, we also have 5 minus 6i. What's the real part and the imaginary part? Well, the real part is 5. The imaginary part is negative 6i. Because remember, this can be written as 5 plus negative 6i. So the real part is not 6i, it's negative 6i. I mean, the imaginary part is not 6i, it is negative 6i. Alright? Here, 1 plus 7i, the real part is 1, the imaginary part is 7i. And remember, you don't say the imaginary part is 7. It must be 7i. 7 itself is a real number. The I is imaginary number. But 7i is the imaginary part of this complex number. Alright? What about 4? Well, this one looks funny. But remember, all numbers that we've been looking at so far can be considered as complex number, just like the 4 here. It's just that for the 4, the real part is 4. The imaginary part is 0. Because you can write this as 4 plus 0i. Alright? So, all numbers can be considered complex numbers. What about 3i? Well, this can be written as 0 plus 3i, where the real part is 0. And the imaginary part is the 3i. Alright? The real part here is 4, the imaginary part is 0i. Oh, I said I is 0? No, man. I is also is negative 1. My mistake up here. Right? The imaginary part, I should say, the imaginary part is 0i. Good. I say, let's use uppercase for imaginary part. It's 0i. Because I is square root of negative 1 is typically written as lowercase I. So I don't want to mix it up. Or want to mix it up. So the imaginary part, call it img, the imaginary part is 0i. So just like how the imaginary part here is 3i, but the real part is 0. Alright? So here, those are the parts of a complex number. The real part and then the imaginary part. Real part plus the imaginary part, which is a real number combined with I.